American Underground, as to most people, stood out, Invictus, and self-help. So those are the three things that I feel that we could implement back here. Currently, we have the greenhouse, which is kind of a incubator style, but it does not offer, in my opinion, services to entrepreneurs who are in business and need to take their business to the next level. Because I already know how to do Excel, I already know how to do accounting. I need a place where I can go and speak with other business owners who are on the same level as me, and just like American Underground, share ideas and take it to the next level. I know he stated they are in the tech, they're interested in the tech industry, and they focus on scaling.
So I've seen all of these models and participated. I have clients all over the place. And so for me, it wasn't about the technical stuff that we learned going on the trip, but I learned something very, very important. And what I learned was the value and the importance of getting people together for shared experiences. I felt bonded with you all by the time we left, to the point where I was in tears and Deborah was like, you need to get out more. And I do, but I felt like I was missing part of myself when I left you all after being with you all for 2 whole days. And sitting together around that circle that we made in the lobby of the hotel with our own little, come on, you know, bring it all around. And we were like, we had guests come in, Durhamites, come in and be like, well, let me come sit with you all in the lobby of the hotel. So it became a salon type situation. And believe it or not, and I've worked in communities since the age of 5, I never realized how impactful it could be for people to just develop bonds of friendship and relationship through a situation like that. And people came back with the feeling that we were a unit, that this is something, which is why when Pastor Murphy suggested we do the Durham trip, something in my spirit said, yes, that's it. Because now you get to see things. Now you get to understand what we're aiming for. So to Miss Annie's point and to April's point, how do we move going forward? Like, how can we sustain this energy? Because our next Planned Development Committee meeting is not until August, the 3rd week in August. And can we do something in the meantime, such as getting together around Isabel and Roy's idea to create a real estate trust? Like, can we do a dinner about that in July? Or can we do a planning meeting about the incubator in July? Or something that makes it so that we're not losing the energy.
You said no, it wasn't.
And just one quick thing is, I think it's already been, the subject has already been broached, but one of the most powerful things I saw was when we were at the Hester's restaurant, and that video from 1945, I think it was, about Durham. And the whole point around that documentary was about the self-sufficiency of Haiti. And how, and if you remember, they talked about there was no reason for people in the Haiti community to have to leave their community.
Because I mean, with the magnitude of what we're trying to accomplish, like Durham, either you have people with you or you have people against you. And in Durham, go ahead.
Is this alluding to the reason for your 10 p.m. phone call last night?
No, I'm not even going to talk about that because everybody in this room.
Okay.
I feel like that's something more that I want to know the core that's in there because, and I'm not saying everybody is at the core, but I want to feel good about that. And that's just honest. So
I got you.
But I just feel like let's focus on the psychological way to produce and distribute this content on what we're trying to do to the community in a systematic way. Because what we don't want to do, all of us have these bright ideas and it works, but everybody else is kind of disconnected because they don't understand
the markers on 22nd, and somebody suggested that we get the banners like how they had, so that exhibit can be mobile.
Where we had to break open the vault like they did in 36 hours. But maybe we don't have that, but we have some spaces that have some history to it. And I think
Probably not enough for everybody.
You getting ready.
But yeah, I figured I'm gonna have everybody's attention. But just based off of a lot of the little think tank conversations and some of the things that we
Let's not get stuck. So it's kind of this thing when we say Elmo. When I say Elmo, that's everybody. Let's move on, because sometimes we'll get in the weeds on certain things.
And for this amazing food.
Yes.
The things that we want to do, and we wanted to use this list as an area of focus.
Wipe all your tears away. I know it's been crazy, but keep your head up high.
I was one of the people hanging down in the lounge area in that round table that we created. Y'all see how we like built that little space there?
And then turning that into some work that we can do here in St. Petersburg. And so what we want to do is just lift up some things based upon the experience that we had, the things that we saw.
Don't mean I ain't about peace.
We must stand together, all together as one, united we.
But I was going to get a collection plate.
Do I need to set my timer?
Give me 3 hours and I'll sit down. But let me, first of all, thank all of you for going. They will tell you here at the Urban League that Watson Haynes was not going.
That's right.
And I said, I'm sending 2 people. I'm paying for 2 people to go. And people kept calling, including Gypsy, and said, no, you have to go. And I thank God I went. Because from what I saw, in terms of the young folk who came to the table with those of us who are a little bit older than them, I'm like 2 years older. But the ability to sit down in the little circle, and what was supposed to be like a 30-minute debrief, that was supposed to be 30 minutes. 2 hours later, we're still sitting there because we were engaged, and the young folk, as they were able to share with us where they're coming from, and we were able to share with them where we've been. But the fact of it is we were all trying to get to the same place together. And I'm just thankful that I went. There were some great learnings. And that's how Hazine, when, Hazine and I met when she was part of the National Urban League staff. And so when I visited her a few weeks ago in Senator Nelson's office, and she talking about commerce and all, I said, we're talking about economic development. I need to get you to St. Petersburg. However we can get you here, we need to get you here because we need you involved in this thing at the beginning of where we are. And so I'm pleased. I got a chance to have her to hear the story of Cafe Creole today by accident, because I wasn't supposed to be in that parking lot. We were going somewhere else to eat, and it happens that Elihu walked out the building and talked to them about the fact that here was a businessman who couldn't even get a loan from a shady finance company and had to use their own money, he and his wife's own money, to build Cafe Creole. And the fact is that they did it with their own resources without the help of government, without the help of a bank, with friends of theirs who said to a friend, you don't want to invest there. That's the wrong location. Okay, so they were able to hear that story firsthand. So now they can go back to Washington City. I had a board member who we had a long meeting with this week, Irv Coed over there, who was an investor. And I said, I need you to come and hear what some of these people are saying, because he talked about some of the same things that you all were talking about, and we didn't talk about the trip. It was just that he was putting some of those things on the table as an investor. And all that I'm saying is there will be folk, if we do